I feel like there are two places you see a lot of black people. One, the church, and two, the club.
Oh.
Honestly. Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you. Welcome back to another episode on Embrace. And today we're here to tell you that you're not alone. A couple of weeks back, we put out a survey to hear about other people's opinions on loneliness or how they felt when they moved to Ireland. So we'll be discussing the responses. So one of the questions we asked my fellow people was, what's been your biggest struggle in making social connections since moving? So we had a lot of responses, but we'll just be reading out a couple of them. And someone said cultural shocks. I mean, did you guys have any kind of cultural shock?
I mean, I expected differences, so if that would count as a shock, yeah. I expected it, so it wasn't exactly shocking, but it could pass for one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'd say maybe in regards to the answer could be like weather changes, because it's one of the major factors that, hinders people from meeting and, trying to make friends. So I'd say, yeah, it could be a shock, because one moment it's sunny, it's lovely, it's raining, it's cloudy, it's, all those, yeah. So
Okay. Okay. So another response was finding a group event where black people gather. Where the black people gather.
Oh, that could be a cultural shock, because I will tell you for a fact, yeah. When I moved to this country, my first few days I was searching for black people. I will tell you. And then I went to the city center and I met him and I'm like, good evening. I was so happy to say, you could tell the excitement on my face that I met this person, because I moved from the flight I took down here. I was the only black person, yeah. And then I moved to my apartment. It was like black. It was Asians, Europeans, Americans, and it was just me again. So I was very. I looked forward to meeting black people. Is there a place where black people gather? I don't know. Maybe just walk past them on the road. But that could be a cultural shock, because at first, when you are very new here, probably will not meet a lot of blacks. But over time, I feel like when you meet one person introduces you to another person, so it just becomes like better. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually makes sense that you wouldn't meet black people like in a group. The same way you'd meet them like when you're home, people are on the road chatting and but here, like for me, I would see a black person passing far away from me and I'm like, just wave, even when you're from afar. But then as you go by, you get to meet them, you get a job, you get to interact with them, which really feels good. Yeah.
Well, for me, I feel like there are two places you see a lot of black people. One, the church, and two, the club.
Oh.
Honestly, I feel like if you go to the pub, you might not really see black people, but when you go to the club,
and it makes sense.
When you go to the club, oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't really have to be. So when I say church, it doesn't have to be like old Sundays. If they have like any church event, especially singing or praying, black people, we love to pray. We feel like in Africa, they've showed us a lot of shege. So we pray and pray. So when you go to the church, you definitely meet more black people. So if you're looking to meet your fellow blacks, those are the two places to check out.
Go to church.
Yeah, or go to the club. Okay, so someone said people have their own cliques and I feel like I'm the third wheel. So I just step back and rely on myself. Ouch.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I felt that.
Yeah.
I think I felt that. Because me, I have my own experience. So in school, my experience is in school. So when I go to school, and we usually have like this place that everybody, especially black people, or rather we had like this study room where we all meet up. But like everybody had their own group. Do you understand? So coming in, I'm like, I mean, I had someone at that time, but over time things just began to change, and I don't know. I just felt like it's like I was late to the conversation. They have their own inside jokes, or if I try to say something, they might not really understand my joke, because sometimes my humor can be very dark. So sometimes I have to like think back, and I'm like, oh, wait, I need to calm down. Do these people understand me? So yeah, third wheeling. Yeah, I think I felt that. Have you guys felt it? I can't be the only one.
I don't know if I felt it, because one, I think I'm very self-sufficient. I don't really. If it happens, it happens. To be honest, if I'm able to chat to people, good. If I'm not, it's alright. So third wheeling. Now, if I feel like that's not my space, and the conversation is not like connecting. If it's not connecting, it's very evident. So if it's not, I'll slightly take myself out of that situation. But there hasn't been like a lot of situations like that, primarily because I really do not expect that I'll talk to people. It's not like the greatest thing, but you know, I've not really experienced so much of that.
Okay, I feel like third wheeling, sometimes it happens and then you realize it's actually third wheeling, because you meet someone and you're trying to connect, hoping, or rather thinking like it's just the two of you trying to make friends and connect, and then you realize this person has another clique that, you know, they're connected more on, you know. So then as time goes by, you realize, oh, so this person actually has their own clique and I can't fit in. So you tend to draw back, hoping you get your clique. So
hoping you get your clique.
So hoping you get your clique. So on that, at that time, you just have to be self-sufficient, whether you like it or not. You have to, as you wait for your clique.
Sure.
Okay, because I think at some point we have, except for my beautiful, you know,
who is self-sufficient.
She's self-sufficient, but like
listen, let me make a point clear. It's not the best way to live your life, I promise you. You'll be alone half the time, but there are a few edge cases, you know.
You won't have to deal with that.
No one is an island. Sometimes I consider myself an island. It's not the best way to live your life, but I don't know. It's just the situation I found myself.
Life.
So, that's life, and life is life.
Okay, so someone said, I've never looked to making social connections.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
I've never looked. I mean,
that would be the most self-sufficient person, we'd say.
I have a point, but I don't want to say it.
Say it. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I really honestly do not have those expectations. Like, I don't know if I look forward to making social connections. I feel like human relationships are stressful. So having to juggle one friend, two friends, three friends, four friends. Sometimes it happens naturally, which is the best case scenario, but being intentional about making those connections. No. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'll be lying if I say that there hasn't been situations where you're like, do you really want to make an effort? Like, it crosses your mind, but have I acted on it? I'm not sure. Funny, but not the best way to live your life again.
Food for thought.
Could be,
not the best way to live your life.
Food for thoughts. Okay, so someone said meeting like-minded people. Also, everyone is so busy hustling, they have no time for hangouts. Look, honestly, Ireland, UK, I feel like abroad in general, everybody would rather pick shifts over hanging out, because they're like, because they're like, oh, I'm going to make 150 euros and I'm going to spend 50 euros. So they would rather, even if some people would make plans and they just cancel and say, oh, something came up,
or a spare shift came out.
Like so people would rather pick shift. So you just have to be ready, because like, everybody's trying to make money
in this country, or anywhere outside of your home base. You are literally trying to survive. And how do you survive? By working. because you have a rent that comes up every month. You have bills, electricity, gas, all of that stuff. So for someone who is trying to just get by, at least having your own finances just kind of keeps you afloat. So I think that explains why people would rather just try to get more money than want to hang out, because one brings money and one takes money away. So which one would you choose?
Yeah, it's like the environment gives you like options, at the same time pushing you to the wall. Like you feel like, yes, I have options, I can meet friends, I can work, I can sit in the house, but then bills are knocking on your door, so it leaves you no choice. So you have to work, like, you know.
Okay. So still on that question, someone said, I tend to be shy and lack conversation sometimes, and the language barrier. Yeah, I think I've spoken to a couple of people. I remember I asked one of my colleagues, like, if she's usually this quiet, and she's like, no, that she's very noisy. So I asked her, oh, why is she always quiet? Because at work she doesn't speak, she doesn't. But you could tell, like, oh, this maybe she's different from what you're saying. So she's like, oh, she's struggling with her English. So the time she would think of what to say in her head, she can't really make conversations with people. So that's a problem. And there are some people that will tell you that they are funnier in their own language, which is true. Yeah. So I think the language barrier.
Yeah, I feel like the language.
For us, we can speak English, but the accents too. At first, I remember when I started work, my manager told me, he just came to me because I felt like, oh, they will not understand me and I will not understand them. So I'll have to start saying, what did you say? What did you say? What did you say? So he's like, oh, you have to be confident. I can't forget that thing he said. He just said, this is where you work. These are your customers. So you just have to be confident. And I think I've grown a bit since then. So now I talk. If you don't understand me, that's your business. Put your ear down. So yeah.
Communicating in a place as this, like an island, is sometimes we have like different sense of humor. What makes you laugh, they might not get it. What makes them laugh, you might not get it. So sometimes just want to keep it very subtle, so you maybe eventually get to know these people and understand how they communicate, because that will make you understand that people communicate differently. And as you said, some people are funnier in their own languages, because I've met someone who is always trying to crack a joke, and I've actually just come to a conclusion that maybe they are funnier in their own language, because I never really connect to those jokes. It never really makes me giggle. So, but you see them laughing and they do it, and I'm like, okay, now I think I have to take the initiative to understand that maybe let's say in your local setting, it just works, but here, I don't just understand it. So I feel like it could happen to anybody. People just communicate differently, and until you understand how people communicate, maybe you just be a bit more laid back.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I'd agree with that as well. Like language barrier is really a major factor for most people. And even if like it's not even a language barrier, sometimes you don't know how people would react to what you're saying. Yeah. You have to always keep on tabs, like whatever I'm saying, is it correct? Is it right on this context? So you have to be, you have to be shy, not by choice, but by circumstance. But the beauty of this is with time it gets better, So you gain your confidence, you get to understand their jokes, they understand yours, and you build a lovely conversation and life moves on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so someone said the fact that everyone minds their business and doesn't seem to be interested in making friends, make social connection a really big struggle. Sometimes I don't think people really mind your business. Well, if someone sees me, they'll say, oh, I mind my business, but I'm just not a conversation starter. So if you start the conversation, you realize that, oh, this person is actually not bad. I was talking to someone and he's like, he did not know what to expect from me. But now that he's talking to me, he feels like I'm not stuck up the way he saw me. So I think, the whole everyone minds their business. Actually, I don't think Irish people really mind their business. They love to talk.
Yeah, they do.
Anywhere they see you, they love to talk. So I think it's just some people just don't know how to start the conversation, and they just feel like you might ignore them. So I think that's where it's kind of like misjudgment, miscommunication. So we don't really know if we're in our heads. If you're in my head, you hear, oh, please talk to me, please talk to me, please talk to me. So I think that's just it.
It's just the fear of starting.
Yeah,
the fear of starting and not knowing the reaction. Yeah, but the worst someone can say is, don't talk to me, and life moves on. So we can always try.
Okay. Most of the responses are just cultural differences. People are scared to like start conversations, like we said. It's just some people say, oh, loneliness is like part of life. I don't think it's part of my life. Sorry.
No, it shouldn't be part of anyone's life.
So someone gave an advice. The person said, don't feel bad if you're lonely or just wanting to focus on yourself and create time to progress in career or anything you're doing. But like there's some days you just want to go out.
Yeah, you just need a balance, you know?
Yeah.
You can't be one-sided that it's, oh, goals. No.
I mean, back home, it's not like I spoke to many people, but like the idea of there's someone there was, so it's not, some people don't really want to always talk to you or go out with you or anything. They just want that, they just want to know that, oh, there's someone there, there's someone familiar around them.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the person's advice. So if you're feeling lonely, don't feel bad.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. Just focus on yourself and create time to progress on your career. So do you guys like have any advice for like people that feel lonely?
No, it's just to know you're not alone. And I feel like it should not be part of your life, like feeling lonely. You have to be like intentional about ensuring that you're not lonely where you can ever wish to be. So even if like there's no one around you, you feel you're alone, just know someone else is feeling like you. And if you go out, try to talk to someone or find something that makes you happy. Even if it's going for coffee alone, reading a book, going to the park. And actually the beautiful part of this country is that there's so many parks around.
Yeah.
You can always walk into a park. There are seats around. You can always sit, listen to music, and like you could do so many things instead of just staying in your small space in the house and you feel like you're suffocating. Yeah, so just go out, you know. The sun makes everyone happy. It's like it's what is it called? It makes you like feel vibrant. The moment you open your window and you see the sun, your mood changes. So don't stay in the house. You're not a pot.
If you're looking for someone to talk to, come on, embrace. We're here for you.
We're here for
So
you.
just enjoy Ireland to the best of your ability.
Ireland.
Bye.
Bye.